Welcome to Portimao for the fourth round of the Zero Racing Championship, Season 4. This is the weekday races. You'll see one, then the other is joined by Bandicut. And let's walk through the grid, shall we? Because that's how we start these days. Jason Monds is on his perennial spot, pole position, looking to transfer this into his third win of the season. Joining him on the front row is Alessio De Bonis, returning from a sabbatical, starting second for the Spalding RT team, Monds representing Zagato Piston. Then it's the Golden Bolt Championship leader, Genghiz, starting in P3. P4, Dule Markovic in the second Zagato Piston entry. He is also the top qualifier for the Academy Cup in this particular race. Wesley Stokes will start from P5, representing Team Shosha. Then it is Stefan Gervais of John Slow Racing, P6. P7 will be Rick Martel of Team Shosha. Golden Bolt's Mike Magasevic, an Academy Cup leader, starting in the P8 position, Mike Magasevic. P9, Michael Schneider, debuting racer today in the McLaren 650S independent entry. Mark Klabzul will start from P10 for the Spalding RT team. And at the back of the pack, in a bit of an unrecognizable car, prior McLaren 650S racer Alan Angel has switched over to the RUF RT12R for this particular race. No idea if that's going to be a permanent change or just an experiment. So let's kick this off. And they are off. Monds appears to have gotten a decent getaway. Alessio De Bonis getting swallowed up a little bit by the field. Mike Magasevic, they're cutting to the extreme inside. And they're down to turn one. It's Monds leading the way. De Bonis has retained second, though not a great start. Genghiz is third. Wesley Stokes is fourth. Dule Markovic has slipped back to fifth, and he gets spun around. Looks like maybe Mike Magasevic or Stefan Gervais with the contact with the Markovic car, and he'll slide to the back of the pack. Monds continues to lead from De Bonis, Kahn, and Stokes are your top four. Mike Schneider, great start off the grid, up from P9 to P5, with Mark Klabzul started P10 up to P6. His typical fantastic starts, Mike Magasevic in 7th, Stefan Gervais and Rick Martel battling over 8th, and Alan Angel is in 10th position. Mark Klabzul getting a little out of shape. Through goes Magasevic, Martel, Gervais, Angel, and Markovic. Klabzul slipping to the back of the pack. Top four have gotten away. Wesley Stokes has taken third place, actually, from Genghiz. Let's have a look at how that happened. Big moment there for the championship leader to slide back a spot. This appears to have been quite a while ago, actually. Alright, so it's coming out of the hairpin here. Stokes getting a better exit from it. A bit wide there from Genghiz. Loses pace and loses the position. Slipping back to 4th place. Schneider is still in 5th. Mark Klabzul, as we said, we'll see spin-off here in 6th. That has handed that position to Mike Magasevic, ahead of Rick Martel, 7th, Stefan Gervais, 8th, 9th for Alan Angel, and 10th for Dule Markovic. Still in the lead, but losing ground to the Portimao master, Alessio De Bonis, is Jason Monds. We'll see if Monds has a little bit in reserve. Maybe just not pushing the car quite as hard as he can. Mike Schneider is still holding 5th place, doing a fantastic job here in his debut. Mike Magasevic is in behind him in 6th place, and then it's the battle between Martel and Gervais, who seem to have been just absolutely glued to each other throughout this entire race so far. Alan Angel, after struggling and qualifying with the RUF, seems to have gotten a hand of it. He's hanging on to the back of the pack in 9th place pretty well. We end lap 1. It is Monds in the lead. The pole sitter still leading from De Bonis. Look to see if De Bonis can go on the attack. He absolutely dominated here in Season 3 with the DTMs, but the GTs are a bit of a different beast. Wesley Stokes is under pressure from Genghiz Khan. Khan did out-qualify Stokes. Stokes is up from P5 on the grid to P3 in the race. One of the bigger climbers in the race, though the biggest is this man, up from 9th to 5th, Michael Schneider. He has got Magasevic on his tail. Martel. Gervais has dropped off the back of this fight, seemingly conserving tires, perhaps, or just saving up some pace, maybe, or he has possibly lost pace. Mark Labzul is up on the back of Dule Markovic, but I think... Oh, Gervais is off. Stefan Gervais goes off, and he's going to slip to the back of the pack, I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look at what happened for the number 80 car, representing John Slow Racing, their lone representative in today's race, with Martin Lauer still suffering with injury, and Dave Collins having a conflicting schedule problem. Just kind of gets a little bit too much of the apron, it seems, and slides off. The apron here at Portimao could be not the most forgiving thing on the planet. Jason Monds still leading the way, seems to more or less stabilize the gap to Alessio De Bonis. They're slowly edging away from Wesley Stokes. Genghiz Khan's assault on Stokes has seemingly come to at least an intermission for now. Championship leader is back in 4th place. Schneider, Magasevic, and Martel in a close battle for 5th place. And then it's Alan Angel, who's up to 8th in the race, and Dule Markovic and Mark Klabzul rounding out the points, but look for Stefan Gervais to try to make a bit of a comeback here. Should be mentioned, Schneider is actually leading the Academy Cup standings in this race right now in his first attempt. Fantastic debut so far. Monds crosses the line to lead lap 2, and we head on to lap 3. Top 4 are breaking away from the pack. These are the 4 danger men. They are the fast men. Mike Schneider still holding in 5th place ahead of Magasevic and Martel. You can see Alan Angel actually hanging on pretty well in 8th place ahead of Dule Markovic and Mark Klabzul. Magasevic getting very close to Schneider. We'll stick with this for a little bit. The McLaren 650S, a little bit of a better handler than the Z4, but doesn't. The Z4 is not battling their usual straight line speed disadvantage against a 650S. The McLaren is not necessarily the most powerful car in the grid. That would belong today to the RUF of Alan Angel. Gervais has gotten around Klabzul at some point for 10th place. Jason Monds still leading. To the eye, I think De Bonis may be marginally closer to him, but fairly stable gap at the moment. Khan is closing a little bit on Wesley Stokes for 3rd place again. And Magasevic, I think, has had a problem because he's way off the back of Mike Schneider now. Let's have a look at what happened to him. He's going to lose 6th place to Rick Martel as well. So it looks like he was dropping back at Schneider just a little bit, maybe saving up to go for it, and gets a little bit on the apron. We've seen that apron trip up a couple of people, and Rick Martel says, "Thank you very much. I will take 6th place." In the meantime, Markovic putting the pressure on Angel for 8th place. Stefan Gervais in close observation. Mark Klabzul has fallen off the back of the bag. Oh! Markovic loses it. It breaks loose, and he spins it around. That's going to promote Gervais. Might promote Mark Klabzul, depending on how far behind he is. There he is in the BMG Red Bull car. Not going to be quite enough to make a move. Meanwhile, back at the front, Jason Monds still leading the way. I believe De Bonis has eaten a little bit more out of his lead on this lap, but not in a position to threaten as of yet. And then Schneider still holding on to the top Academy spot in 5th place, ahead of Rick Martel and Mike Magasevic. And Alan Angel under a lot of pressure from Stefan Gervais. We're going to sit with this for a bit because I feel a pass coming on. There goes the move. Gervais for John Slow Racing makes short work of the independently entered RUF of Alan and Hell for 8th place. Back at the front, the pressure is growing marginally, but not much of a fight going on as of yet between these top 4. You feel they're all reasonably close in pace, so the chance of one making a breakaway does seem kind of unlikely, although Khan appears to be dropping a little bit off the back of the pack. In the meantime, Schneider pulling away from Martel. Magasevic appears to have had another incident, as he was much closer to Martel before this. Here, maybe an issue on the in the first sector is perhaps my thought on the matter. Oh, yeah, there it is. So Magasevic comes into the third turn, and the braking is not remotely correct, and puts himself on the grass, loses all kinds of momentum heading into the uphill section. That's going to cost him a lot of ground to Martel and Schneider, and open the door for Gervais and Angel to possibly get back up into the fight with him. Markovic still holding down that last points-paying position. A bit of bad luck for Dule Markovic, qualified in P4, had an exceptional qualifying run, and running in 10th place at the moment due to some contact on the first lap and then some mistakes later on in the race. His teammate Jason Monds still leading the way from the first of the 2 Spalding RT cars, Alessio De Bonis, and despite the similarities in their paint schemes, they are not teammates. And in 3rd place is the Team Shosha man, Wesley Stokes. And then it's Golden Bolt's Genghiz Khan. In 4th place, Mike Schneider is the top independently run car, running in 5th, doing a very solid job. Team Shosha's Rick Martel is 6th. Team Golden Bolt's Mike Magasevic in 7th. 8th place for the John Slow Racing entry, the lone John Slow Racing entry, Stefan Gervais. Then it is 9th place for the independently run Alan and Hell, and Markovic, who we mentioned before, is the second of the Zagato Piston cars in 10th place, ahead of the second Spalding car of Mark Labzul. The gap is definitely closing a little bit. De Bonis, I think, may have something to say about this race win before we're done. Closing a little bit on the leader. Wesley Stokes losing some ground now to Genghiz Khan. That's been going kind of as a bit of a yo-yo effect, where Stokes manages to sprint a little bit clear, and then Khan starts to eat him up a little bit, because I do believe Stokes may be the lacking in pace of these 4 cars, although not by any significant margin. Michael Schneider running 5th still, held 5th pretty much the whole race. Made a fantastic getaway on the first lap, moving up from P9 to P5, helped by a couple of people making some mistakes. Markovic, we mentioned earlier, but also Magasevic went off. Gervais has gone off in that time. Rick Martel did not get a very good start, but he is in 6th place now. He's got Magasevic, who started 8th and is up to 7th, so a reasonably solid day for him. Second in the Academy race behind the debuting Schneider, which shouldn't really be too much of a threat to his championship lead. Dave Collins' absence helps him out a lot, and it's Markovic's struggles have largely enabled him to probably stay relatively clear in the Academy Cup hunt. Stefan Gervais, 8th place. He's been putting on some solid performances since joining the grid at Indianapolis, and we'll be looking for probably a little bit better than I think he's getting today. A couple of mistakes have taken his race down. Alan Anel's having a spectacular day, looking to get his first championship points in 9th place. Struggled in qualifying, like we said, with that new RUF RT12R, but having a bit of a handful there in the 3rd sector, it seems. Maybe the tires going off a little bit here as we end the 5th lap, heading on to lap 6 of 9. Dule Markovic is holding that last points-paying position. You know he expected a lot more out of this race, having qualified in 4th. He's definitely the man who's been a little hard done by. Mark Labzul has fallen off the back of him. No longer really a threat He'll just be able to focus on trying to catch up to Angel, who seems to be struggling a little bit. Meanwhile, his teammate Jason Monds is still at the front, looking to solidify himself as the championship favorite once again. The reigning champion of the Wednesday series has had, the qualifying paces have been there all season, but the racing results haven't necessarily followed. So getting a win here, which would be his third of the season, would be a big deal. He won the opening race at Indianapolis and at Mid-Ohio after having a disappointing debut at Bridge, where he took pole but was unable to convey that into significant results. De Bonis is still closing on him every so slightly, might have a chance. Wesley Stokes holding third, took that away from Genghiz early in the race and has held on to it ever since. Khan, the championship leader, in fourth place. This would be the first non-podium finish for Khan if he cannot make any progress. He has had 6 podiums from 6 starts. Michael Schneider still having a fantastic debut. He is losing ground to Rick Martel, who's putting the pressure on. But as of yet, nothing really going on. Mike Magasevic is also running a pretty calm pace in 7th place. Might be able to catch up to this pack before the end of it. And Stefan Gervais has absolutely been siphoning the gap between this group and him, really catching up. So he's got some tires left. He's found a nice balance, and he's on the charge. Alan Angel still in 9th place, holding on against Markovic. And then Mark Klapzel, running off the field, has fallen quite a ways off the back. De Bonis is putting the pressure on Monds once again. This is actually probably the closest he's been since lap 1 to the lead car. And we know Alessio De Bonis is fast and smooth around this track. He has always had a fantastic affinity for the Portimao track as the young Italian driver. Looking to get himself really into the championship hunt that he kind of slipped a little bit out of after missing Indianapolis, ironically the place he debuted during Season 2. And the pressure is on. He is definitely trying to crack the reigning champion, Jason Monds. If it's not, it might just be my imagination, but I think Wesley Stokes is catching up a little bit as well to maybe stick his nose into this fight. Genghiz Khan has slipped off of the back of him again, but still in the shot there in the white car, in 4th place. Came into today with a 13-point championship lead. And one of his main competitors, Mike Mark, absent due to a scheduling conflict. Rick Martel has taken a spot. It looks like Mike Schneider's had a problem because he's ended up behind Gervais, back in 8th place now. See what happened to the McLaren 650S of Michael Schneider. Had been running a very promising 5th, so this is a bit of a heartbreak for him to, on lap 7 by the looks of it, to kind of fumble away a lot of what he gained from some fantastic work in the early going. This is quite a ways back up here, so that's where Gervais... Okay, it looks like maybe a mistake in the hairpin. Let's see this here. He comes into the hairpin and just loses the back end. Rotates it around. Martel, Magasevic, and Gervais all going to go through. Gervais coming into the shot here a little bit. It looked like Gervais actually lost a little bit of ground there. He was much closer to these 3 cars before that would indicate. Alan Angel has also dropped... Oh, no, he's not. Just a little bit of a connection error. He is still ahead of Dule Markovic, which... a little surprised by. Markovic had definitively been faster than the RUF driver in the qualification session. Again, qualified in P4, so his position in P10 is incongruous to his real pace. But the fight really to watch for is for the win, and that's the way we like it. Alessio De Bonis is cracking up the pressure on Jason Monds. Doesn't have a lot of time to do it, though. This is lap 8. We're only going to get 9 laps in by the looks of it. So the pressure is on De Bonis to make something happen in a relatively short period of time. Portimao has a couple of good overtaking opportunities. You have the straight coming into here. You have a couple of highly technical sections where the car ahead of you can make some mistakes to open the door. But it remains to be seen if De Bonis has a performance advantage in any of those sections to really make this stick. We'll see if he can make it happen. Perhaps Monds has lost the tires a little bit, and that's why the gap is closing down, which would be odd. Jason Monds has historically been the master of really making the tires last. Not that Alessio De Bonis is any slouch in that regard, but I would not have thought that he would be the type to drive the tires off of it in a relatively calm fashion. But we will see. Perhaps Alessio has just been biding his time, turning up the pace now. But it seems like Wesley Stokes has closed in on this group battle on Monds a little bit as well. He seems to be about the same distance back to De Bonis that he has been for much of the race. So it does seem like there's a performance issue for the Zagato Piston car currently leading the race. He's lost a little something, it seems. I'll tell you who has definitely lost something, though. Genghiz. The podium streak probably coming to an end as he just can't seem to really put the pace out of his Golden Bolt car to keep up. Pressure is also on as Markovic battles Alan Angel, the Guatemalan driver. So we do have some battles going on here as we're into the last lap now. Lap 9. Jason Monds still leading the way from Alessio De Bonis. Wesley Stokes down in 3rd place. This is honestly surprising with the dominance that De Bonis had at Portimao that he's not led this race at any point. Jason Monds has held him off, even if it seems like maybe his tires are starting to cry a little bit no mas. Doesn't seem to be sliding around at all, though, so the tires still definitely have some grip. He hasn't completely destroyed them as of yet. But De Bonis has a definitive pace advantage here on the last lap. Going for the outside here, which will turn into the inside line. Alessio's got it! De Bonis has got it! He's up into the lead of the race, but I don't know if Monds has given up. Setting up for the outside here. This is going to come down, I think, to the last turn. These two cars are so close together. De Bonis has been the faster guy in the last sector, so can he hang on to victory? He slides wide! He slides wide! This has opened the door for Jason Monds. A little bit of contact. Monds has got the inside line through the big sweeping curve to end the lap. He's going to the line. De Bonis is wide a little bit again. Who is in the lead? And Monds has got it. That's got to be less than a tenth. That's got to be less than a tenth of a second winning margin, though. Jason Monds has taken the first race at Portimao. Wesley Stokes has finished 3rd ahead of Genghiz. Rick Martel and Mike Magasevic have finished 5th and 6th place. Stefan Gervais dropping off the back of them a little bit, maybe beating his tires a little too hard. He's in 7th. Mike Schneider taking home 8th. Dule Markovic has gotten around Alan Angel for 9th place, but you have to imagine he's not happy with just 2 championship points, although it does double his tally for the season. Speaking of first scoring points, in the RUF debut, it is Alan Angel coming home 10th place. Qualified in 11th, looked very off the pace in qualifying and practice. Really found something in the race, though. Much better race pace than he had over a single lap. Mark Klapzul will finish in 11th place, rounding off the field. So that is race 1 here from Portimao. We'll be heading into race 2. Alan Angel will start from pole to get that one underway. Joined on the front row by Dule Markovic, who'll be looking for more from race 2. And rounding off the top 3 is the debutant, Michael Schneider. So hopefully we get some good action there. Heck of a finish to this race. We'll post in the description below exactly what the gap between the leader and second place were coming to the line. So we just watched Mark Klapzel finish off the race here, heading through the sweeper to the finish line in the BMG Red Bull car, representing Spalding RT, which almost got a win today. And that is the race. So join us for race number 2. It's time for race 2, the reverse grid race of this fine racetrack at Portimao. And starting from pole, it'll be Alain Angel. I believe is the first time he has held the pole position. We saw a fantastic race for the victory in race 1. We'll see if we get something similar in race 2. Dule Markovic is the man to watch, though. Starting from P2 in this race, he qualified 4th and wound up in a paltry 9th position in race 1. I think he has more in him. I think he's a danger man, and we could be celebrating a victory for him for the first time ever here. Or maybe a podium. So look out for him. Starting P3, Michael Schneider in his second race. He's done a fantastic job so far. And Stefan Gervais will start from P4. P5, Mike Magasevic. P6, Rick Martel. P7, Genghiz Khan, the championship leader. P8, Wesley Stokes. P9, Alessio De Bonis. And P10, Jason Monds. And then it's Mark Klapzel in the position that he finished race 1 in 11th place. Let's kick this off. See if Alain Angel can get off the line well in that RUF. He had a pretty solid start in race 1. Markovic has not been known as one of the better starters on the grid, and it looks like he's being swallowed up by the grid. Mike Schneider is also slipping back a little bit. It's going to be Alain Angel into the first corner with the lead. Dule Markovic, Mike Schneider, and Mike Magasevic having a little bit banging in. Oh, Magasevic has pretty much almost rolled the car, and a number of people caught up in that. I see Wes Stokes off the track. Schneider is, of course, in trouble. Anyways, at the front, Angel leads from Markovic and Gervais. Genghiz Khan has wheeled his way into 4th place. Good start for him. Followed by Mark Klapzel, who's under pressure from both Rick Martel and Jason Monds. Monds is through into 5th place. Whoa! And in the inside goes Martel into the hairpin. Mike Magasevic remarkably has recovered to an 8th place finish, 8th place ahead of Alessio De Bonis, Wesley Stokes, and Mike Schneider. Dule Markovic has taken the lead. Let's go have a look at how that happened. He's deployed against the pole sitter Alain Angel. Looks like maybe back at the hairpin, potentially. We've seen that RUF be a bit of a handful through tight turns. Yeah, it is indeed. At the hairpin there, just gets down the inside. Clean move. Markovic into the lead for Zagato Piston. Angel 2nd, 3rd Gervais, 4th Genghiz Khan, 5th Jason Monds, the race 1 winner. 6th place Martel, 7th place Klapzel, 8th place Magasevic, 9th place De Bonis, 10th place Stokes, 11th place Michael Schneider. What a terrible start for him. He had a fantastic early race in race 1. Not going to be the case this time around. Still leading the way is Dule Mark. Well, I shouldn't say still. He just took the lead not too long ago. Alain Angel getting a bit wide there in the 3rd sector, and that's going to let Stefan Gervais up into 2nd place. He's looking for a solid result after being a little bit robbed of some better results in race 1, finishing in 8th place or 7th place after running fairly better than that. But that came with a 4th place on the grid, and now he's up to 2nd in the race behind Markovic. He's got Angel and Khan sticking with them. These are the 4 cars that largely escaped unharmed through that first corner exit. Jason Monds up to 5th place. Followed by Martel, Magasevic, De Bonis, Stokes, Schneider, and Mark Klapzel appears to have gone off and slipped to the back of the pack once again. Lap 2 continues here. Markovic still in the lead from Gervais. Pressure coming, or I should say Genghiz Khan has slipped past Alain Angel into 3rd place. His podium streak ending at 6 podiums in a row to open up his zero racing career here in race 1 at Portimao. But he's got a huge advantage with Stokes and De Bonis having hit problems. and Jason Monds being a little bit further behind, you got to think Khan's got a chance to possibly pile onto the championship lead here if he can get past Gervais and Markovic. Monds closing up onto this leading group, as is Rick Martel. Magasevic in 7th place. Then it's De Bonis and Stokes battling over 8th. And Mike Schneider holding down the last points-paying position. And Hell going off the track in the background is going to lose him a spot to Jason Monds, maybe. Trying to fight back, but can't quite do it. So that's 4th place for Monds. That RUF seems to be very much a handful in the corners. De Bonis under pressure from Wesley Stokes. A bit strange as Stokes didn't appear to have the pace in race 1 to really battle with the Italian. However, in race 2 it appears that he's a little bit better equipped to try to strike back. Michael Schneider still rounding off the points in the orange McLaren 650S. Genghiz Khan has looted 2nd place from Stefan Gervais. Looks like that was perhaps late in the 2nd lap. Looks like maybe in the sweeper. Oh, before the sweeper. So Khan had been eating into Gervais for a little bit and just goes down the inside. Gervais can't defend and slips back to 3rd place. Genghiz Khan on a charge. Markovic still in the lead. Khan under pressure from Gervais. He's not quite away yet, but he's opening up the gap. Monds is 4th. Alan and Hell is 5th, but just as I say that, demoted to 6th place by Rick Martel in the Team Shosha entry. The lead Team Shosha entry for a little bit of a change of pace. Magasevic behind that, followed by De Bonis, Stokes, and Schneider. We'll see if Markovic can summon up the pace to keep Genghiz Khan behind. Keep in mind, he did qualify P4 in the qualifying session, and Khan was only P3, so there should not be a tremendous pace difference here. Markovic probably has a top 5 car here today, and just simply didn't put it together in race 1. Can he correct those errors? And, losing the back end a little bit. Khan is now swiping all over him. Takes to the grass, which that's not going to end well. So Markovic hangs on the lead from now. Gervais is in the mix. Jason Monds is catching up a little bit. Martel, Magasevic, Stokes, De Bonis. Hell has slipped quite a ways back now. He's down to 9th place ahead of Michael Schneider, and Mark Labzul. Markovic under some tremendous pressure from Genghiz Khan now. Championship leader. Stefan Gervais is just behind that, followed by Jason Monds. I think Martel just out of the shot there in 5th place. Then it's Magasevic. Stokes and De Bonis having a great battle, and Stokes has gotten De Bonis. We'll see if De Bonis can strike back. Looking for a move down the inside of the hairpin. Oh! He tapped Stokes. He'll take the spot. Oh, looks like he's slowing back. He's going to give that back. That was probably going to result in some kind of steward discussion. That collision right there. Alan Angel has lost a spot to Michael Schneider, but appears to be trying to fight back at him for 9th place. Back at the front, Genghiz Khan has taken the lead. Let's have a look at how that happened. Looks like just off the hairpin, perhaps? Yeah, it looks like Markic went too deep in the hairpin, got out on the rough stuff, and Genghiz Khan just superior grip takes the position. Monds still on the tail of Stefan Gervais for 3rd place. And that's how Michael Schneider got through on Alan Angel as well. Angel getting a little bit wide onto the grass. So Genghiz Khan now in the lead. Can he sprint away? Oh, we've lost Stefan Gervais somewhere. He's back only to 4th place. He's only lost a spot to Monds, but he's lost a ton of ground. What has happened to the number 80 car? Definitely a trip on the grass involved. Doesn't look like anyone got into the back of him. Just loses grip. Spearing across the grass and loses his podium position to Jason Monds. Back at the front, Genghiz Khan has the lead for Golden Bolt over the 2 Zagato Piston cars of Dule Markovic and Jason Monds. You kind of got to question whether team orders might come into play there, if Markovic is going to let Monds pass him at some point for 2nd place. Gervais is in 4th ahead of Martel. And then it's Magasevic in P7. Or actually, it's P6 now, actually. Hasn't updated, I think, for the Alan Angel slipping back. Wesley Stokes is in 8th place ahead of Alessio, or in 7th place ahead of Alessio De Bonis in 8th place, 9th place for Michael Schneider, 10th place for Alan Angel, who has dropped off the back of the McLaren. That is a lot of tow going on that RUF. And Mark Labzul. Monds catching the back of this fight. He is the fastest car on the track, I think, without a doubt. The only man who may be able to really rival him for pace is Alessio De Bonis. These 3 have gotten a long way at this point away from Stefan Gervais. Still under, getting a little out of shape there. Gervais still under pressure from Martel, and they've got Magasevic just behind them, keeping them company. And then it's De Bonis in 7th place. 8th place for Schneider. 9th place for Stokes. Stokes has slid off the track at some point. Let's see what happened to him. Did he just get deep in the hairpin? It's before that. He was ahead of Alessio De Bonis and Michael Schneider and is now behind them. So that's where Schneider got through. Looks like De Bonis got through a little bit earlier. So De Bonis and Stokes a little bit side by side coming into the lap 5 of 9. Alessio gets much later on the brakes, makes a clean break for it, and looks like a little bit of loss of drive for Wesley Stokes, perhaps a slow down penalty. Slides a little bit wide, and through goes Michael Schneider as well. So Schneider climbing through the field a little bit now after what was a disastrous first lap for him. Back in the front is still Genghiz Khan. Wesley Dule Markovic is keeping up with him. Jason Monds is the danger man, though, in third place, I think. Stefan Gervais is in fourth, followed by Rick Martel fifth. Sixth place for Mike Magasevic. Seventh place for Alessio De Bonis. Eighth for Michael Schneider. Ninth for Wesley Stokes. 10th for Alan Angel. And 11th for Mark Labzul. Markovic getting a little bit wide there, and now might be under pressure from Monds. Not quite. Four Canadians in the top five, by the way, an interesting stat. Markovic is the lone non-Canadian at the front of the pack right now. Actually, five in the top six, counting Magasevic. And Martel got down the inside. We saw that move materializing a little bit ago. We'll see if Gervais can make a comeback here for fourth place. Mike Magasevic licking his chops at the possibility of getting past Gervais. That's an Academy position for the Academy Cup leader. He's currently third in this race of the Academy Cup drivers. Markovic is in first. Still holding down second place, but not quite able to stay with Genghiz Khan now. And you think maybe the Zagato Piston team will enact some team orders to sprint Monds up ahead of him. Wesley Stokes trying to get back past Michael Schneider for 8th place. Would be key for the championship contender. Khan still cycling at the front here on lap 6. Markovic in 7th. Monds in 3rd. Martel, Gervais, Magasevic. De Bonis catching up to them. He's in 7th. And then the aforementioned battle between Schneider and Stokes with Angel and Klapzul rounding off the field. Pressure on against the orange McLaren 650S of Michael Schneider here in his debut round. Has handled himself quite well. A little bit of an incident on lap 1 of this race has compromised what could have been a big haul of points. But he is holding off one of the better drivers in the field, Wesley Stokes, a race 1 podium finisher in the battle for 8th. And Markovic is still hanging on to second place ahead of teammate Monds. You gotta think Monds is a little impatient at this point because his chance to maybe take the fight to Genghiz Khan is fading as long as he's behind his teammate. Martel, Gervais, Magasevic still running more or less together, which could be problems for them because Alessio De Bonis is coming. The Italian is, just held off for the win in race 1. Would love to get himself up at least into a top 5 position in this race. Schneider still hanging on against Stokes. Stokes getting closer every lap, though, it seems. But Schneider doing a good job of keeping that McLaren very wide. Can he hold them off here? Neither car has an appreciable grunt advantage over the other. The McLaren is newer tech, fresh car, but not necessarily known for its straight line speed, which is the weakness of the Z4. These are both handling cars, so to speak. Stokes looking to the inside. Nothing quite there. We'll say that McLaren has got very solid brakes, though. So it will be very difficult to pass him in braking zones. Might be better off waiting for the sweeper because these two cars have fallen fair ways behind Alessio De Bonis, who, by the way, has just taken a spot from Stefan Gervais. Gervais has dropped 2 spots. Let's have a look at this because he was ahead of Mike Magasevic in 5th place. What has happened to the number 80 car? Has misfortune once again befalled Stefan Gervais and his run to 6th place? Or 5th place, I should say. It's back a ways, it seems. Okay, so this looks like where we're going to get it. So he's quite a bit ahead of Magasevic. And it's very slow off that corner. Loses a little bit of control heading into the sweeper, and you just can't do that because that's going to open up the door for Magasevic to go through right there. Gervais tries to fight back against him, but Magasevic is going to... we know with the benefit of hindsight, he's going to make this stick for 5th place. Yep, there it is. Gervais ducks out of it in the first corner. And now he's the rear gunner for Magasevic against the Italian Alessio De Bonis, who is on a charge. De Bonis jinking to the inside. And gets into the inside on the hairpin. So not a big mistake from Gervais, just kind of lost out a little bit in the 3rd sector of lap 7. And also at the hairpin, Wesley Stokes making his move. I just said it was going to be hard to make it a move under hard braking, but apparently was mistaken. De Bonis is on the tail of Magasevic now, looking to get through into 5th place. We were talking about how he would like a top 5 finish at the very least here at the track that he has historically dominated. Rick Martel getting very wide heading into the sweeper as well. Monds, in the meantime, has taken Markovic. Looks like he just may have let him through. We were not going to bother to look back for that because we have a fantastic battle going on right now for 5th place. Alessio De Bonis putting the pressure on Mike Magasevic. Magasevic slides wide. It's going to compromise him. Oh, he loses it. Loses it under braking, and De Bonis is going to go around the outside into P5. Magasevic struggling up the hill. Can't seem to find proper traction. And that's going to allow Stefan Gervais back through into 6th place. Wesley Stokes is catching up to this group. Magasevic fights back against Gervais. Little bit of elbows out. Takes the position back. This is also opening up the door possibly for Michael Schneider, who's kept up admirably well with Wesley Stokes. Final points paying position still belongs to Alan Angel. Genghiz Khan in the lead here on the final lap. He leads from Jason Monds. I don't think that there's enough of a difference, or I think that's too big of a gap to give us our photo finish of race 1. Dule Markovic, though, is going to take a podium by the looks of it. Good work from him. Double Zagato Piston podium in 2nd and 3rd. Rick Martel is holding 4th place, but De Bonis is putting the pressure onto Rick Martel. But he's only got the sweeper really to work it on. Meantime, Genghiz Khan has taken the victory from Jason Monds. Markovic with his first podium of the weekday season. He has one in the weekend. Giving a little wiggle to the fans. Taking 3rd. And Rick Martel is going to hang on to 4th place at the line. Mike Magasevic is going to hang into 6th place. Then it's Wesley Stokes, Michael Schneider, and Stefan Gervais has had a problem. I think he may be out of fuel. Schneider does not, or Gervais does not make it to the finish line, and that's going to promote that did promote Wesley Stokes to 7th place, Michael Schneider at 8th place. It's going to promote Alan Angel to 9th, and Mark Klapzul is not going to leave Portimao pointless. He has got 10th place because of Stefan Gervais running out of fuel on the last lap. Just a reminder to always check your fuel loads before you get in there. Angel takes 9th officially, his best result of the season. And Mark Klapzul is going to come across the line in 10th place in the BMG Red Bull for Spalding RT. So Genghiz Khan with the win for Golden Bolt, followed by the Zagato Piston duo of Jason Monds and Dule Markovic. Team Shosha takes 4th place with Rick Martel, ahead of Spalding RT's Alessio De Bonis, Golden Bolt's Mike Magasevic, Team Shosha's Wesley Stokes, Independent Michael Schneider, Independent Alan Angel, and Spalding RT's